Welcome. I'm Chris McKean.
And I'm Andy Kiner.
We're all about cross-country racing, and typically it starts with 10 seconds.
But not in Iowa. In Iowa, it all starts with hands-on helmets.
Man, we haven't heard that one for a while. First off, welcome back, buddy. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
That was a long 2 races watching. If anybody ever complains about the live scoring, I will be on their side from now on.
Oh.
And it's not bad. It's just when you're stuck at home, and I was glued to it to watch every single race, the 50s and everything. And it's like, how many times did I call you? It's like, did they start yet? Did they start?
I think I had a third, an additional job every race, communicating with Andy. And then what was funny is that you would rotate. Some of us would be all together, and you would rotate between the group trying to find information because you're bored as heck. But
no, I really appreciate everything everybody did. That was phenomenal, and it was a bad month and a half, but it was really cool in one way to see how the whole team came together, and it's like, I think Brock told me I could retire now because he said, "Dad, we did better without you."
Well, why don't you just take my job and I'll retire?
No, he said that's why when we come back, just keep an eye on scoring. So, yeah.
Oh, so yeah, good round 4. I mean, yeah, it was a hot one. There, we had a couple issues here and there, but overall, man, overwhelming response on what a track.
Yeah,
I mean, personally, I thought that we'd get a couple complaints about the dust, but man, everybody was just happy about the, new track, kind of something new, level playing field for everyone. And I think some sand spots out there as well.
Heard one called the kitty litter.
The kitty litter. I think, the guy who built the track, or one of the guys who built the track, Paul, found that kitty litter, and it kind of got stuck there for a little bit.
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, over the years, we're way past it because we know the truth that how hard these guys work to help us end race. And not too many guys can actually go do that and realize how worn out you are when it comes time. But if it makes any difference to people, knowing that Paul kind of laid that, I think him and Trump laid that section out. And from what I understood, watching live scoring, I'm like, where are they? And I find out that they're both stuck in the kitty litter. So, but hey, can I interrupt something?
Yeah.
I got something going that I want to make the announcement because it just got posted. I didn't realize we could, but I'm going to see if I can post this or show it to you.
A little higher. There you go.
You see that?
That's your grandson.
That's Cannon. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the next picture.
Where is it? There, a little higher. A little to your left. Yep, good.
See what that is?
Nice. Wow. Gonna be another grandpa.
That's the announcement. Not only grandpa, but we're actually having a little girl this time.
Wow. So, exciting. Yeah. Congratulations, Brady and Sarah.
Yeah, that's
and it's my understanding we'll see Brady this weekend, right? I heard he's gonna try to make it.
Unless this changes something, but yeah, I believe so.
Good.
So yeah, now we got a wrestler for the men's team and the women's team.
It's gonna take a few years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. No, I just wanted to say that. I was pretty cool when I seen that, and I was like, yeah, it's neat. So
big week, big week ahead of us. So thanks to everyone for being flexible. I mean, we have kind of our own families as well. So on my side, I'm juggling quite a few things. I don't know, football's coming up. So there's a football event that we were originally planning on having the podcast tomorrow, but it had to be moved up to today so we can attend that event tomorrow. Then also I'll be at the fair about every freaking day, unfortunately. Putting in my volunteer hours. So
I don't know. I'll try to make it to a football game to watch your boys, but I only made it to one last year, wasn't it? And it was like a 5-hour game.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
in the coldest day of the winter, I think. But
well, and you can see my youngest. You got to see him over the weekend because we like to go to Knoxville, and that was very, it was good to get back down there with you. And Austin joined us, but God, he is getting so freaking tall, 6'1", almost 6'2". So should be a pretty good wide receiver.
And a fresh haircut that'll speed him up.
Fresh haircut, yeah. So yeah, so kind of like a big week. We're gonna kind of like low budget, no budget go through and kind of like we have the last couple of years. It's just been mostly Facebook posts that we'll go through and just do a starting order because it's luck of the draw depending on how you get chosen here as to where you get your gate pick, and ultimately could help you towards the end of the evening on Saturday. So
yeah, it's always interesting.
Yep.
With these gate picks because some people are like, oh, it doesn't make any difference. And it sure can. It's really built up. One of my sons liked to start way on the inside. One of them had to start on the outside.
Yeah,
it's just everybody's got their own. So that draw is actually a pretty cool deal because it allows you to, really make it your own race. Right from the beginning. So.
Yep. So before we kind of get into this, what is this race? We kind of dropped the kind of hint earlier this year, along with the Heartland, that the AMA is recognizing this race as. You want to go ahead and.
Yeah. So this will be recognized as AMA, first time ever on this. First time in Iowa ever having a number 1 plate handed out, but this will be a state championship, is what it's considered. This is going to be an AMA number 1 plate for the state championship for the Iowa short course or Iowa State Fair Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So we worked really hard on this. And then obviously the Iowa State Fair was supposed to have been the first time they ever recognized a team race. And unfortunately, thanks to my wife, we had to cancel the Heartland. So, but anyway, we won't get into that. So, but yeah, so it's, I don't know, Chris. I don't think some of our racers, especially younger ones, understand the opportunity to get a number 1 plate from AMA. It just, outside of nationals or the pro motocross or, it's very hard to get one, even on a state and regional. They just don't do it much anymore. So for having the AMA to choose this to be recognized, I'm not going to joke. I'm probably gonna have a tear in my eye when that first one, when I can see one of our people getting recognized with an AMA number 1 plate, I'm super stoked to see it. So
yeah, me too. So as we kind of go through this list, we're going to notice, like for kids, we haven't released this yet. We just kind of made the decision this afternoon about the 90 stock. So when we kind of do the state fair, we don't turn any kid away. We kind of have a limit somewhere around 15 for the adults. We kind of made some exceptions this year because our numbers looked low at first, but thank God in the last few days, we're about 204, 205 entries. We're still 5 away from breaking our record. So if anybody hasn't signed up that you know of, let them know. We'll still make an exception to get them in. So we can
we need those 5.
Yeah.
We've got to break the record. That's all there is to it. And this is, Chris, remember, I think there's something else going on or something. We had no 3-wheelers. Actually, one guy called and wanted to enter, and we ended up dropping the class because only the one 3-wheeler even showed interest. But if we had that 5 or 6, 7, 8, that was in there last year, we would have been broke. We would have broke it. So, but yeah.
So as we were discussing our 90 stock class, which we know in our regular series, we're gotten I think we've got 41. I looked earlier today of participants so far this year. So we had 23, 24 entries in our 90 stock class. So what we've decided to do is go ahead and split that class up. So we will have a 90 stock 8 to 9-year-old and a 90 stock 10 to 15-year-old class.
Dude, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's great.
That's a big class, and now you take that and you throw it. Now there's 2 winners, 2 second places, 2 thirds. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's more people get recognized. That's cool.
I mean, this is all unofficial, so please don't take photos if you're listening to podcasts, because I guarantee you something's going to change between now and Friday. It always does, believe me, because I'm printing usually at midnight on Friday to get ready for Saturday. So just tentatively, we kind of have our starting order. I know it was posted out there from Battle of the Barn. It has been adjusted a little bit due to the fact that we might need to still tweak it a little bit, because we will have 3 B mains. I want to make sure that those guys and those 3 classes get enough time to recuperate a little bit. But we're going to start with our C class. We'll then jump to our 90 stock 8 to 9-year-olds. B class, 50 stock, 50 limited, UTVB, which side note on that one, UTVB, we have 3 participants, and UTVA, we have 2 participants. We're reaching out to those 2 classes. I think we're going to make the decision to combine those classes. So more is to come as we try to work through that. But 6 and the lineup is 70 production, 16 to 19, 50 production, junior class, 30 plus, 90 production, UTVA, which we said we probably will combine those, 90 stock, 10 to 15-year-olds, A, super mini, utility, and then our adult 90 stock. These won't have heat classes, but all 9 participants will go strictly to the A feature and run women's class. And then we have 13 in the pit bike / hooligan class. So that's kind of new. We didn't have enough participation in the last few years. So that class is taking off. So we'll get to see that this year. All 13 of them will start in an A main. And then we start with our 2 bigger classes as far as pros, our AA class, and then our UTV open class.
Gotcha.
So like I said, currently we got 204. Really want to try to get that 209 if we could. That'll help beat last year's numbers.
I just got a text. I think we just gained 1 more rider, 1 more entry.
Good.
But yeah, also, Chris, give you credit. You know, I probably don't give you enough credit. I don't do it. Well, I don't like doing it when everybody can see me either, you know, give you credit. But
yeah,
and between you and Trace in the last week, you know, I was scared to death when you guys were down there. And it's one of the things I'd ask you down there. And I think you told me at that point when people had signed up, there's like 100 entries or 101.
Yeah.
So in literally 7, is that 2 weeks, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, it really started taking off last Thursday, Friday. The just numbers that kept going up. So yeah, it's an everyday, just kind of keeping up with the numbers. And I will point out that some of these, if you're looking at them, are 16 to 19-year-old class. Actually, that does have just 15. What is it? Our plus 30 class has 18 participants, and our C class has 19. Just numbers were low at the time, and we weren't going to turn anybody away if we were nowhere near what our numbers were last year.
Yeah.
And our A features, we're going to take up to 12. Some of them have 13 just because that's what they started with. But 12 is, I think, a good number on the short courses as far as a feature goes.
And on that, you know, we'll decide that day because I can't remember and make sure they didn't move a piece of concrete, you know, one way or the other. But
yeah,
for some reason, the gate will only hold 12 and there's 13. That 13th one would start on the second row.
Yep.
so
Yep.
and it is live
So
start. So
live starts, and even our laps, because we unfortunately can't get into and start building the track until Thursday night. Correct.
correct. We're going to
So
get in.
we're kind of hit with a kind of a curveball here because of an antique tractor pull on Thursday this year, where previous years we can get in there Tuesday, Wednesday and start building. So we've kind of got a tight time crunch that we'll be building that track. Thanks in advance to Tim Morris. I think he does a wonderful job helping out with that. So we'll have to look at lap time. So number of laps could change as well. I don't foresee them decreasing on here. They may go up. If we figure that the track's fast, we might add a lap. And as far as our total A main laps, those are all blank right now because we want to get a good feel of what the track looks like.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I probably could have shown, but I didn't come prepared. But we changed the layout talking to people last year, I put those little tight chicanes in down at the end, I don't even know what you could call them, but we just made some changes and we made it, I would consider it more racy instead of a one line, a big rounded corner type situation instead of a tight one. But I think the track, like you just questioned there, I think the track will be quicker this year than it has in the past. So we'll have to see, but yeah, I know you mentioned it there too, but the only change really in adding more people, we originally we wanted to keep it 15, 16 per class, so that we have such a time frame to get out of there. That's the reason we have to do that. But when allowing those extra ones to come in there, I think what you and I figured out, there's hardly any more racing. We're just going to have a B main, like one more heat or something, and then we'll have the B main. So
yeah, based on all my calculations so far, like I said, I see TJ Stewart. Thanks for calling out. I had 2 number 5s in the row, but the lineup's still correct when I was rushing through this evening. The numbers seem okay. I think justifiably we just got to see how long it takes a lap, and then I can do some quick math and kind of see as far as laps. I see a comment out here that he thought Patrick thought it was the second was the last day. Nope. Normally it is. We do have a cutoff, and that cutoff is meant for the drawings that we're going to do for a lineup. So anybody that we still would like to have 5 people, Patrick, those 5 people, wherever they may join, or if they join, or even more than 5, they don't get put in the lineup drawing. They go to the tail end of the line, and they'll be that last person that gets that gate pick.
But the opportunity to race at the Iowa State Fair is worth it.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
No,
yes,
I think it's cool. So I'm excited. I can't wait for the fair race.
Yes. So,
and like you said, this here is not it's what your figures that you just showed. That is just to go by right now. That's by no means is that 100%.
No. So on race morning, Saturday morning, I'll have a couple of these posted everywhere. Once we get like I said, the determination, and I get things printed off late Friday, we'll have it. Or, God, sometimes I'm even reprinting Saturday morning at the racetrack. We'll get them all out there. You guys can take pictures and whatever else, but it's just all unofficial, just so we can throw numbers out there. Make sure that for our sake, we keep everything on time, because we've got that hard stop about 5:30 or 6.
Yep.
So just going to show the payouts. I mean, can't thank the fair enough. I mean, over $15,000 that they're providing or giving back, from everybody's entry and pits and all, gate or pit money and all that. But it's a lot of money, so we got to thank them. I mean, they're having us back. We've gotten great reviews the last couple of years. There's even been talks maybe a second day. I mean, that keeps getting thrown out every year, so we'll see. But can't thank the fair enough.
Yep. And sorry, I was making a note here for later, so we gotta get with the fair on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely thank the fair there. Obviously they have the antique tractable, which I'm actually glad to see it come back this year, but putting us in a little bind, but we're good. I mean, it'll actually help us in ways, Chris, so I don't think we're going to be too far behind on getting it built and everything. It's just, I guess, we'll wait, because I think we're going to go through the whole day here pretty quick, and then
Yeah,
we
we'll
can
kind of
talk
go
about.
through it, and because I'm see questions in the comments about people asking if we need help setting it up and stuff, and we'll get through that here. My thought was let's go ahead and because the lineups are going to take a while. We got 21 classes that we got to try to hurry up and get through. And then we'll kind of talk about the day. We'll provide an update on what we know so far. We still got some questions out to the fair. Our contact's super busy, so as soon as we get more information, we'll keep passing it on. But yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into it, and then we'll kind of talk about the race procedures and all that afterwards. So I'm just going to go through this quickly. So I'll try to mention if there's multiple heat and how that heat is going to be broken down. If you guys want to follow along, yeah, we'll just kind of get started here. So we're just going to basically how I start. I don't have it set up as far as what the schedule or our order of events will go. For my sheet for entries, I just went from 50 stock all the way up to UTV, just how I stay organized to get everything moving along. So bear with us if you're adult, but we'll just go ahead and we're just going to get started. So remember I said cheap, no budget. So this is basically what I use is random.org, and I'm just throwing everybody's name in here, and it is the luck of the draw. This first class, what do we say? 50 stock is only 50 stock is 2 heats. So we have total of 9 in the class. So first 5 will be in first heat, second 4 will be in second heat, and I'll get this all done, printed off for everybody. Okay, so your first heat: Haley Yarrington, Gavin Gazink, Bailey Kemper, Kendall Moeller, Grayson Bartlett. Second heat will be Ace Summerfield, Cash Stewart, Deegan Bodorf, and Piper Davis.
If you need help with this, just let me know.
I know it's not entertaining when you're watching. It's like here, there. So 50 limited, we have 13. Good class. We'll see if this is gonna. Oh, not gonna fail on me so far. So 50 limited, we have 13. We're gonna do this in 2 heats. So 7. The first 7 here will be in heat number 1. Everly Flincher, Hayes, Haldenberg, Emily Hambley, Danny Bowling, Sawyer Allen, Chloe Stewart, Oliver Aller is your first heat. Second heat, Ali. I'm going to slaughter it. Sorry in advance, everybody. Horrible with names. Ali Rimmeyer, John Llewellyn, Elwin Bodorf, Mimi Faulkner, Braley Christensen, and Leo Christensen. And these first 2 classes all will go on. So 13 in the class, we will have 13 in the feature, or what I call A main.
I'm gonna go have supper real quick. I'll come back.
I know. Some people think this is entertaining.
No, I like it actually.
All right. Rory Smith, Ryder Moran, Rhett Stagerling, Oliver Aller, Easton Hambley, Coulter Smiley. This is where I need Kim. If everybody knows Kim, Kim's got all of you guys' names memorized, faces, race numbers, classes. So
Did that one already organize it then?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So it's like just a flip flop. Roy. Oh wow. Sorry.
3 down, 30 to
reading.
go.
70 production class. Got 5 in the class, which that's about normal for the 70 production.
That's good size.
Yeah. And I'll fix names too. Oh, Tucker Verts gets first gate, followed by Cash, Rhett, Ryder, and Hunter.
You know, the nice part about that is I say that can be a big deal, but when you're talking 5 minis on that, I think we can, if I remember, I think we can get like almost 15 last year, like 15 full-size quads. So there's plenty of room to pick there. It's not like someone's hurt because they're the last pick, you know?
Yeah. And this is just a lineup for the first heat. So if you, based off of how you finish, which we'll talk about it, finishing your heats is basically how you get your gate pick for the A feature.
Yep.
Sorry, I gotta do some redneck math here. So because we determined that one was not eligible, so I forgot to remove that one. So 90 stock 8 to 9 year olds, we will have 13. So we're going to do 2 heats for these guys. First 7 will be in the first heat. Last 6 will be in the second heat. All will go on to the feature. Elliott, Braylon, Thomas, Riley, Jackson. Is it Kyson? Bailey, Kendall, Chance, Cash, Ryan, Bregan, and Hoyt. Very happy that we decided to move forward and split these up.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Nope. It's a redraw. Scratch that, guys, because we've missed Chance. So it will be a redraw here.
Oh, you didn't get the bottom one?
We can blame Andy for that. Okay, redraw. Cash Stewart, Kylie, Bailey, Chance, Braylon, Ryan, Ryan, yeah. Is it Kyson, Jackson, Bregan, Elliott, Thomas, Hoyt, Kendall?
So that one's 7 in the first one, 6 in the second. Is that right? Oh, no, that's all one heat, isn't it? Yeah, never mind.
No, it's 2 heats.
Is it?
2 heats, 1 feature. And God.
So don't you have to split those? Or no. So you just split up by the way they were drawn there, right? So the first 7 of them are the first heat, the last 6 are the second.
No, hold on here. Yes, Ashley, thanks for just pointing that out to me.
Thanking who?
Ashley, because we have to go and unhide my row. There we go. So we can go off first draw. Thanks, Ashley, for pointing that out. Working on the fly here. A little nervous. Andy's watching me.
I knew I should have done this. The technical part.
All right, there we go. So first draw was right draw. Everybody was counted for. We have to go back since it was right. Elliot, Braylon, Thomas, Kaylee, Jackson. I'm gonna say Kyson, Bailey, Kendall, Chance, Cash, Ryan, Regan, and Hoyt. All right, 90 stock.
There was another one just signed up for 90 stock, but he'll be last gate pick now.
Yes. Checking my notes here. So there are 11. So 11, we are going to do 2 heats. So it will be 6 and 5. So first heat will be Riker, Cannon, JC, Jenna, Cash, Shaden. Second heat, Cameron, Xander, Ethan, Talon, and Nicholas.
You got the sisters racing each other. That's too bad.
Luck of the draw. But everybody does go on to the A feature.
Mm-hmm.
$90 production. 11 is the count. It will be 2 heats. 6 and 5. Everybody will go on. All right. Colts with first gate pick, followed by Braylon. Hold on. Hold on.
I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, that's why we do it on the fly, man. On the fly. So, yes, this is 90 production. See, I was confused on which class we're going. We're going through these so quickly. So Colt gets first great gate pick, followed by Braylon, JC, Cade, Cash, Oliver, Alexander, Chance, Riker, Johnny, and then Talon. Again, those are 2 heats. We'll get those up.
You know what this is kind of remind me of? Is when I get all the racers staring at me because we're ready to go, but we're still waiting on scoring to get ready.
Oh, I'll let you have that one. I will let you have that one. But how often is that, though? Truly.
Not very.
Yeah. So, Super Mini, Cole Brandt, followed by Cade, Kyler, Sonny, and Jenna. All right, so let's talk about the women's class because we'll see a couple names in here. Those that follow the series in the women's class, we'll see a couple youngsters in here, right, Andy? So while I'm doing this, you want to go ahead and kind of sit?
Yeah, so this is one of the situations when people call me about a class or something. This is, I always call it track racing. It's not necessarily considered that to AMA, but when it's a fenced in, it's not a hare scramble where people are out there. You can't do this in hare scrambling. But team race for the Heartland, we've had some stuff approved. But I'll speak about this class here. For example, we had one of them called wanting to race the women's class on a smaller machine and younger. There is a certain age you have to be to. And I actually originally said, I'm pretty sure you can't, but let me call AMA and check with them. But as long as, so what I found out was, I hope I say this right. I'm going to use the women's class example. That is not an age class. Okay. That's a women's class. The first, deal you got to be as a woman to be in there. Okay. So youth classes are all age. They're based off the age 100%. So you can't ride a 90cc unless you're this age, So they approved that. I think there's 2 of them on here, if I remember right.
Yep.
There's 2 of them that was approved to race that class, even though they're racing with, older people. They just can't be on a 450. So they have to be on their legal size machine for their age, but they can't. They approved them to race in the women's class. So we had this same situation come up. We had one wanting to race super mini that I believe is normally 90 production. And I thought, well, let me make a call because this is what happened in the women's. But that's where I found out all of the kids classes are based off of age number 1. Then it's CC. So they weren't allowed to move up to the super mini because they weren't old enough to do that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of confusing, but that's what we call every time when we have a question like that, just to verify that we're not making a mistake there. So.
Yep. So we have 6 entries. So all 6 will go in the heat and then also transfer over to the A main. Aniston, Bailey, Jenna, Jenny, Bailey, and JC. So our 2 youngsters are going to be Jenna and Bailey that are going to join this class on their junior qualified machines. All right, junior class. Up and coming. Okay, Tanner, Braden, Bailey, Sonny, Derek, and Cole.
Now, while you're doing these, I'm going to explain one more thing. It's very, very important for everybody to remember. And we'll go over this when we go through the whole day. But let's say you had the first skate pick and you're back there having a soda and you don't get up there in time to, when we're doing the lineup, you'll be the last one to line up. We don't have time to wait on anybody. So when our guys that do the lineups do a very good job, but it's like baseball. We have one, it's up there ready to go, one on deck and one in the hole. So if your class gets all the way up there, we're not going to redraw, move everybody so you can now choose your spot because you were supposed to be in first, but you weren't even up here the whole time. So you will just get the last pick, and that goes for any class, and that goes for even the feature. You could qualify first, and if you're late getting up there, you'll just take the last pick or whatever. So
yep, because like we've said, we're on a tight time crunch, and that's not taking the time because we're going to give everybody some practice in the morning before the drivers meeting, right? And then we get to go through the heats, and then potentially a B main, and then we go to the A main. So we try to keep things moving along. Pretty oiled machine that we got going on. I think we go through it very smooth throughout the day, and we have to because we can't let it get out of hand and cut off our A features because they need to get the concert going right behind us. So
correct. Another thing I'm going to throw in here too, you just mentioned how oiled it is and working right through there. When you get done with your heat, you turn and go right to the award stand. You go right to the award stand.
The A mains you're talking about.
For the A mains, yes.
Yes.
But the awards will be going on while the next race is actually racing. So, but in there, always remember this. Everybody goes to awards if you're top 3. If you're in a money class and you do not go to the awards, you do not get paid. You need to be on the podium. We need pictures of you on the podium to be able to use that. So if you do not, now it's different if you're racing the next class type thing, but like if you're the AA or you're the UTV Open and you decide to go back and chill because you're a little warm and not go to the podium, you will not get paid. So make that very clear. So.
All right. So we have our AA class up next here. All will transfer, all 8 transferred both through the heat and to the A main. So Elijah, followed by Mark, Tyler, Travis, Jordan. Uh-oh, we gotta get Patrick's last name. Riley and Dylan Trigg. Shout out to those who actually filled out their form completely, full city, state address for us, and date of birth, so we don't have to go digging for that to make sure that we're age classes are okay and kids eligibility was okay. All right. A class. So we have 12 in the A class. We'll do 2 heats of 6.
That's not right. Oh, there you go. I'm sorry. That was the other one. My bad.
Calm down. All right. So first heat, Clint, Tyler, Latham, Laney, Jax, Jerry. Second heat, Cody, Nate, Carter, Jackson, Logan, and Mr. Strange. So, another. Cody and Carter have to go. Another sibling.
In the same heat. Dang.
Yeah. But like we said, everybody goes to the A main. All right. B class. Zach with the first gate pick, followed by Ben, Laney, Noah, Brian, Colin, Carter, Sean, and Caleb. All 9. See here. So there will be 2 heats for this one as well. So Zach, Ben, Laney, Noah, and Brian will be first heat. Colin, Carter, Sean, Caleb will be in the second heat, but all do go on. Okay. So here's where we kind of get interesting because C class here, we will have 3 heats in C class, and we'll kind of talk about it here. So 3 heats, 19 total. First heat will be 7, second heat will be 6, and third heat will be 6. So first heat will be Gage, Cameron, Dennis, Nick, Tim, Connor, and Warren. Second heat, Billy, Grayson, Ethan, Matthew, Lane, and Gage. And third and final heat will be Zach, Brian, Jared, Blaine, Anthony, and Trent. So 19 total. How we have it set up is 3 heats. Top 3 finishers from the heat go directly to the A main. The remaining 10 will go to the B main, where we will take the top 3 out of the B main into the A main.
Nice.
All right, utility class. So we haven't kind of touched on this, but man, utility. Wow, almost $1,100 in payouts just for utility class.
Jeez.
So looks like everybody's walking out with some money here in the utility class.
Very nice.
All right, let's see here. All right, first gate pick, Tyler, followed by Jackson, Devin, Brent, and Kurt. Because what's this pay? 500 to win.
Pretty good day at the fair.
That'll buy you a couple corn dogs.
Might even be able to get those brand new lobster corn dogs.
Yeah.
Fair this year.
All right. So another big class here. 16 to 29, we have 15.
Wow.
Give you a breakdown in just a second here once we get it ready. Okay, so I'm getting kind of seeing some comments here. Sorry, we're got dual screens going on here. People are asking what we're drawing for, and we're drawing for your gate pick in the heat. So gate pick in the heat based on the finish. Comments here. Sorry, we're got dual screens going on here.
Sorry.
You might want to mute that. God, it's like your first one in a while here, amateur. So what we're doing is we're drawing for the starting lineup for the heats. Based off finish in the heats will basically help determine where you start either in your B main or A main as far as gate pick. Okay, so we're talking 16 to 29. So I only have 2 heats mentioned in this one. We're going to do 8 and 7. So first heat, Cameron, Carter, Nick, Anthony, Nate, Blaine, Grayson, and Clint. Second heat, Lane, Latham, Laney, Jordan, Trent, Clay, and Elijah. So 2 heats. We will take 3. No, excuse me. We're taking 4 from each heat. That will make 8. The remaining 7 will go to the B main, which then we'll take 4 out of the B main, giving us a total of 12. So again, 4 straight to the A, B main for the rest of the 7, and we will take 4 out of that B main.
Nice.
Okay, our other big class. So we have 18 in the plus 30 class. I'm going to do 3 heats of 6 each. First heat, Patrick, Brian, Trent, David, Riley, and Mark Hambling. Yeah, this one was a shocker. That Mark's going to give up the cage for this race.
Can't wait to see this.
Second heat, Jeremy, Tim, Matthew, Dennis, Brian, and Sean. Third heat, Nathan, Jeremy, Billy, Kyle, Ryan, and Seth. So again, we have 3 heats, taking 3 straight to the A main. The remaining 9 will go to the B main, where we will take 3 to go to the A main, making a total of 12.
Nice.
Oops. Oh man. Oh, you just don't want to see all that. And I totally effed up that. Oh man. Redraw.
Told you I'd help you if you're.
Oh man. We're doing a redraw.
Explain why so people don't think you cheated them.
Why did I just wipe out everything? Yeah, that was done on accident. Oh, we could go back and look at video. I guess I could do that. So, yeah, I'll go back, look at video, and capture everybody's name instead of doing this redraw like we just did. Gotta try to make it fair. So I won't have that until I rewatch all of this. I think that's the only way to make it fair rather than doing a redraw. I apologize. Got lots of things going on my end while you're over there.
Maybe somebody can screenshot you that.
I got it. I'll go back and watch video. I apologize, guys. We're almost done.
It's all right. I just like hearing you apologize.
I'm not apologizing to you. All right, UTVA. Or excuse me, UTV open, all 6 will go directly to the A main as well. So Grant, Brett, Chad, Jacob, TJ, and Daryl is your lineup.
Chris, what I would do here is I would do each one of these and then do them all together. That way you're prepared whichever way we go. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Holy cow, it's almost 8 already.
All right, so Arthur and then Drake kind of flip-flop from where we had him here. And do each class individual, and then I'll add back in the A. So Carl, Dan, and Ben for UTVB, but I think that we have to combine them at this point. Makes sense. So add in my other 2 here again. So there's your A and B. And with the combined class, Drake, Carl, Ben, Arthur, and Dan. Okay, so we get into our 2, I don't know how you want to say it, extra events that these 2 classes won't have heats. They like everybody else. We just have the A feature towards the end of the starting order.
And also, just so this don't get misconstrued, AMA does not recognize side by side, so there'll be no number 1 plate there. And obviously, they don't recognize the 2 fun classes. So those 5 classes, the only ones that does not get recognized by AMA.
Okay. So pit bike / hooligan class, Jacob, Clint, Jacob B, Laney, Andrew, Luke, Sonny, Elijah, and Corey. Okay, so last class, adult 90 stock. So I mentioned that they won't be recognized with the red plate, but there is something extra on the line for these guys, right? Because if they're running in the IATVHS adult mini series, that there are points that are accumulated based off finish order in this race that goes towards that overall pot of money and championship belt, courtesy of Jason Mickelson.
But only if you're in the points do you get to take the belt home.
Correct. Yep. So Jordan gets the first gate pick, followed by Travis, Chuck, Colby, Jacob, Cameron, Tyler, Cody, Josh, Jackson, Logan, Brent, and Dylan. And we also have to indicate that, even these two fun classes have some money up for grabs as well. So adult 90, 150, 150, and then the pit bike hooligan class is also 150 to win, 100 for second, and 50 for second.
Third.
Yes. Too many numbers right now. Oh,
right.
System
I'm here
overload.
to help you.
All right, so we're through it. I'll go back and fix my mistake. I'll watch the video, fix the plus 30 class, and get that posted. Hopefully get this posted the next day or two so everybody can take a look at it. Anybody that decides, or if we can still try to push over that 5 more entries, we'll go just to the end of their heats as far as lineup goes. So I can turn it over to you, mister. You want to talk about the events of the day?
Yeah, really quick though, before we do that, just gonna throw a treat out to anybody watching here. So every year, Chris, I think you supervised it last year for us, but we have the display. The state fair allows us to do a display on the Grand Concourse. If you're not familiar with the state fair, it's in between the Varied Industries and the Grandstand, which is the absolute most busiest place on the whole fairgrounds. And right there on the concrete, they allow us to do a display each year. We try to put like a side-by-side. A couple kids, four-wheelers would like to have an adult ATV, and we wouldn't mind having a utility there. So if anybody has a sport quad or a utility that would like to participate in that, it's great advertisement for your sponsors and stuff. But just let me know, and I can get with you. I just need one of each of those, and then we'll let you know the times and stuff. But it's pretty much an all-day deal. We get you in there early. You'll actually drive it in very slow, but drive it right down the concourse, which is, Chris, I think you've done that with me before. You get a lot of funny looks. It's a lot of fun doing that. So, but I think, what time do we usually shut it down? Isn't it like 3 or 4 or something like that?
Somewhere around in there.
Yeah. But it's great advertisement for the series, for this race. It lets you kind of communicate with people. We've had a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, but we've had people come over and ask questions and actually join the series or come to some races because they just didn't know about it till they talked to the people. But it's really nice to have the kids and the adults and the utilities and side-by-sides and everything there together to really make a statement. So if you're interested in that, very simple, just let me know, and we'll take 2 of you. I already got some kids, and I believe I already got a side-by-side, but I'll make sure on that as well. So, but yeah, so let's jump in this. We'll, Chris, I'm going to go through it pretty quick, but let us know if there's any comments or questions, and we'll go back and cover it. Okay.
Yep. While you're going through, that's what I'm looking at here, kind of gathering, see what we can answer for everybody.
So unfortunately, we don't have our complete answers that we need from the fair because they changed the gate times this year to get in the Iowa State Fair from 7 to 8. But I will say that I'm pretty sure comments today that We will be getting in there at 7. There might be a special gate. This will all be stuff that will get put out there on Facebook and where else, Chris? Basically
Mostly
just Facebook.
Mostly
Yeah.
Facebook. The IATVHS group one.
And we hope to have this out within the next couple days at the very latest, if not tomorrow. We have a meeting tomorrow with the fair to get some of this stuff straightened out due to the gate time change. But basically, if the gate opens at 7, which it should, we'll have the gate that you need to come through because you will be getting in earlier than what the public can get into. I can't recommend this enough. Chris, I know will back me up on this one if he ever has before. If the gates open at 7, you want to be prepared to pull in that gate about 6:30, 6:45, because there's always a line. There's over 1 million people go to the state fair, obviously in the whole 10 days, but there's a ton of people. So it is the biggest pain in the butt of the whole race, I think, is just getting into the fair, into the pit. So please be there early. And here's why. You're going to get in line. You're going to come through the gate that we tell you to. You're going to go through all the parking. You're going to come over to it's the northwest corner of the fair, which will be right by the gate. I'm pretty sure that you're going to be going through. Then you'll come in, you'll do your pit gate and everything right there. Once you get through that gate, then we will tell you where you're parking. You get parked. Then you get a chance to walk out as long as you get there early to get out there and do a walkthrough on the track, kind of see what's going on after. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. After you come up and sign in, even though you're pre-registered, you must come up there and sign in.
It's important. We'll have 3 people kind of, it should be moving quite fast. Just got to have you sign some paperwork like you normally do for the series. And those that need an AMA day pass, we'll get you that all hooked up and signed up. And there's t-shirts and event stuff there as well.
Yep. So, but anyway, you'll get through the sign in. Then you can go out and do a walkthrough on the track if you want. I know you said this different, Chris, but I'm pretty sure we do our riders meeting first and then the practice.
You've done it. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to say so.
Because we did that. We get people pulled over right from sign up basically to get in there. So again, it gets pretty hectic in that morning. That's the hardest part the whole day, I think. It's just to get in there, get set up, get signed in, get to the riders meeting, which we'll go over everything fairly quick, answer any quick questions, and then we'll get the practice started. I think we try to usually get through 2 times, don't we, on the practice?
Yep.
So the question always comes up every year. I'm just killing this right now. Let's say you're racing 4 different machines. You may or may not be able to get out there on 4 different machines. Pretty much everybody usually will get out there 2 times. Okay. And when you come up on a kid's machine, you'll be in the kids line. You come up on an adult, you'll be on adult, line that we just send so many people out. You don't go out by necessary a class. Same with the side-by-sides. But again, we try to get you out there 2 times. If you're late getting up there, it's no offense to anybody when I say this, but we won't be waiting on anybody. We have to get started. So we try to get through the practice. We'll do our national anthem, and then we'll go straight into our heats. And as soon as we get going on our heats, again, we got to go straight. And I've had several people, I don't typically like to brag on this, but I'm proud of our team doing this because we've done a a short course series before. But 3 years ago was the first time we was ever been at the state fair. And I had several people that came up and said, man, this thing ran smooth. And that all has to do with Chris and the girls up there doing the scoring, letting us know that they've got it. We can start the next one within usually, Chris, I know I'm always pushing you, and I know you're busy, but it's usually within probably 30 seconds to a minute at the most, probably, of when one gets done, the other one's already going.
Yep.
So you have to be ready. Joe and Hot Rod and Brad do a great job of getting everybody lined up, moving them up to being on deck. And then when you move up to your feature, you're all ready, or up to your start, you're all ready to go. So you're just pulling up there. So we run through all the heats. Our goal is to have the features or mains or whatever you want to call them started. I think it's by 3 o'clock is our goal, is to have them started. We have to be out of there. We've got a 1 hour kind of a flux. It's from 4:30 to 5:30 is what we've always been told by the fair, that we need to be out of there, need to be done. And then because they park, all their people that park for the concerts, that work the concert, is in there. So we knew that coming in to do this. That's nothing against the fair at all. That just tells us what we need to really be doing and staying focused on getting through this. So the more issues we have through the day, it makes that very difficult. That's why we cannot wait, for a guy that's, back having a tenderloin on the grandstand. It comes your time, you must be there. I just can't say that enough. So kids, adults, side by side, no matter what it is. So we'll try to get started on the mains by 3 o'clock. We'll run through the mains. As soon as your main is done and you've placed in the top 3 or think that you have, you got to be very careful. I will personally, I guarantee it, because I'll be right there where the starting is, which is where you have to go by. Chris, I'm not afraid to say this out loud. I will personally DQ anybody that I see turn to go to the awards and decide that's a racetrack as well. You got to remember, we have people walking and in there waiting to see you at the awards. So when you come off that track, you'll be going down there to that 5 mile an hour type situation. First gear, go over there. It's right below what we call the crow's nest, where all the scoring is. You'll see the banner, all the trophies, everything's there. You can pull your machine right over there. If you don't want your machine in it, you can pull over there, hop off, jump on the podium. But you're more than welcome to bring your machine straight there. But please don't wait, because we need to get that done. So the next one's coming in shortly afterwards. So, but we'll get all the awards done. The paid classes will get paid at that time. And then when we're all done, hopefully by that 4:30, 5:30 at the very, very, I think every year we've been done by really close to 5 at the latest. That's when we need to get our, they do allow us to pull our trucks and trailers, just obviously make sure they're locked, but you can pull them out in the normal parking and park out there and then go to the fair and stuff and, and have fun. But the fireworks goes off right where our pits are. So that's why the people cannot stay in there. They must move outside. And again, that's where the cars park to the east side of our parking. And I might have that roped off this year, Chris. If somebody's not familiar with where that is, it's where I actually parked them when they first came in. And I felt bad because, well, I won't go into that, but you won't be able to park on that up against that fence this year. I'm going to save that for the parking for the people coming in to work jelly rolls that night. So we can maybe work with them a little bit better. And, if we were pushed on time, we've got some flexibility there. So, but I think I've covered that pretty darn quick.
You covered the procedure. So what about the track? So you kind of have the track laid out in your mind, kind of hiding it from everybody until they see it on Saturday. But there's been a question. I know you and I have talked about a joker. Will there be a joker lap?
So as of right now, I have a joker set up. The problem is, safety-wise, I have 2 different jokers. I have a joker set up for the paying sport quad classes, not all of them, just the paying ones. It's actually a shortcut where you'll take a shortcut instead of a long way around. So it's different than, and then I have one set up for the ATV or the 4x4s and the side-by-sides. But I will tell you this, once we get closer and get things determined, like how long the lap times are, those may or may not be in it. That can just cause, that's a whole nother person to make sure everybody did it. Not trying to back out of it, but we just got to make sure, number one is we're fighting time, the biggest thing. So if we have issues, it can really kill the situation. So I'm not 100% sure if that joker line is going to be on there. It might be something that we have fun with, maybe the top 2 classes, you know what I mean? Or something like that and make it simple, but we will determine that and let everybody know on that for sure.
Okay. Some other questions here real quick. House cleaning here. What's the pit bike CC limit?
There is no, I didn't know this because that's not a class that we do. I got with Toby. It's the same as his barn rules. So if you go into, what's his website, Chris?
Oh man, I'm blanking. Battle of the Barn.
Battle of the Barn. You go to that website and you can look on there, and there is some rules. I had one of them call me and ask me about that. I got a hold of Toby. There is no CC limit on them. It's more, it's about the tire size on them. And I guess it states it in their rules. That's just not a class that we normally run. So I call that a Toby class. So.
All right.
Speed questions.
I know. Sorry, I was just putting in that website address there and in the comments. So are we only doing? So are we only doing top 3 awards? Correct. Top 3 awards, or those top 3 in the A mains, will need to go to the podium. Right. We have some awards based off classes. Correct. Andy, and those will be.
That's the part that I don't.
We will get back to you.
Yeah.
We'll get back on that one. Make sure that we discuss that or release that. Another question I see: what if we race a class and place 3rd or better, but you race in the very next class? That is the only exception. So you are required, not optional, if you're in a paying class, to be at the podium in order to get paid. If you are in that very next class racing, or next 2 classes, we'll look at that, and that is the only exception.
And there should be very, very few chances that happens, because I think we've done a pretty good job of splitting them up, but obviously something could happen. But to be clear, that's something, when they're doing that, their machines need to be up there at the start. You know what I mean? So they can jump off and jump on. We won't wait for people to actually get done with the race, go clear back to their pits, start a machine, come all the way back up there. We just don't have time for that. So that'll be between them and their pit crew to make sure that bike for the next class is there. If it's a different bike, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And be ready to go. But we won't start without you. We'll work with that.
I'm seeing a question about joining another class on Saturday. You can join a class today. You can join a class tomorrow. But Saturday, there is no signing up. So if you want to sign up now. I have a hard stop Friday. No more. So
let's don't do Friday. Need to have, I know what you do. I know you need to have this done. So let's just say Tuesday. You know what I mean? Let's try to make a hard one on Tuesday.
Yeah. And if you run an age class, 16, 19, 30 plus, you can always run, secondary class, or what do you call it? I'm drawing a blank here.
I guess skill class,
or women's class, just depending on, or utility class. Somebody's got utility. What did I say? Over almost $1,100 in payouts, and we've got 5 entries so far.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we love our utilities. The women's class, the classes that may not get the most attention other places, and I think we've shown that with the in the women's class. I'm not afraid to say this, Chris. The women's class originally was supposed to be 500 to win. If you remember that. Only reason that got lowered is because we're struggling to get over 3 to 5 girls there. So that payment went down. I think that was last year, or maybe it was the first year it went down from what it originally was. But these are the biggest opportunities you have to run for money in our sport. There's not too many places that have over a $15,000 purse. Obviously, amateur classes aren't going to get paid in an AMA sanctioned race, but yeah. So really quick, I have my adult sport quad for the fair. So the adult sport quad is taken care of. So still need a utility if someone was. We don't have to have one. It'd just be nice to show it off as well. So any more questions?
No, but I think we've kind of captured them all. Some comments out here.
One thing I will say is I've had people ask, once you see that starting lineup, you might see it. Let's say I'm a 50cc and I race the second race of the day, for example. Okay. Yeah. You're probably going to have a couple hours, you know what I mean? Before you race again. So if you want to run to the fair, go get something to eat or go see something and come back. What I always recommend to people, there's plenty of time to do that if you want to, but what I always recommend is just have somebody in contact there, another racing buddy or somebody there that you can check in with and say, hey, we end up over here to go down the big slide, but you're up in 4 races, you know what I mean? So you can get back there. So, but there's plenty of time to go enjoy the fair, if not during the day, before or afterwards. That evening's always fun, I think, Chris, when we see everybody out there, running around. So,
So there's a question just posted by Jared that we haven't really discussed, but Jared, you are correct. So anybody who buys we all have to have a ticket to get into the fair. So with that ticket, if your family goes and gets that ticket, they can actually come into the grandstands for free. That's the fair's opened that up this year. I believe in the past it was like $20 or so, or somewhere in that range. It was one of the events that they selected to make it free. But if you are coming into the pits, we will also need a pit pass and also that state fair ticket.
Yep. And they will, keep in mind now too, we are doing this for the state fair. And some people get, and say, well, man, that's a lot. But if you look at this, if you're going to the gate, you're getting in cheaper than you do to a normal race. If you're going, the state fair ticket is obvious, because you're getting into the fair, but the pit pass is $10 more than our normal series race, but
so
it's at the Iowa.
Pit pass is 25.
Yep. But it's at the Iowa State Fair. That's I'm so happy to be able to put this race on and be a part of it, being at the state fair with the history and everything. I just absolutely love it. But, keep in mind the fair's giving us $15,300. So the entry fees, the pit passes and all that stuff goes back to the fair. And that way that helps pay for all the, everything else. So for them to actually turn that gate into the mission of the grandstand this year free, I'm very appreciative of that. So, and also, Chris, on that, let's say you got a family of 5 and mom and 2 of the kids or something, or grandma and grandpa and mom want to go set up in the stands. If you're in the pits, you can go back and forth from the pits to the grandstand. So you can go up there and sit with them and talk and doing everything. And then you can come back down. If you have a pit pass, you can go both places. So, and there's a gate access from the pits to get up there. So you don't have to go out and all the way around. So,
yep. Some more questions coming in about the pit passes. So that's all handled through the fair. So Andy talked about when we come in the northwest gate that we have to go into. The fair normally has 3, 4, 5 people there that you kind of have to go to a pit shed. So if you haven't been to any stock car racing and you got to go to a pit, there's some sort of shed there. We got to go in the shed, check in, pay. And then after that, you'll see Andy, myself, Brock has done it before to try to get you guys in there as quickly as possible. So you might see us floating around, but it is a fair organized. It's their people. So we also need to be courtesy to them. They try their hardest to get us through very quickly. Yeah, so just be patient.
I'm really glad you brought that up, Chris, because 2 more things on that. I think last year they did a really good job of speeding it up, and they actually pulled people up. And I don't think they made them go last year to the gate. I think they made them stop, and then they went to the trucks, kind of like what we do at the normal races to help speed that up. I think that's what happened. But keep in mind, when you pull in, I've been there, 2 years now and watched this. And I can tell you the biggest delay. So if you're 10 cars back waiting to get in, please don't be that person at the gate. Because I see it all the time. They're sitting there waiting. It comes your time. And then it's like, oh, I gotta find some money, or I gotta get this, or I gotta do that. You know what I mean? Be ready to go. Don't be that person. Be ready to go to get your bands, get your ticket, and go right through. And if you have your tickets, like right now, I think you can still get them, can't you?
I picked up my advanced fare tickets today, a few more. So you
Yeah.
can still get them through, I believe it's Wednesday.
So like Hy-Vees, Fairways, there might be some more places,
Yep.
but I think it saves you $5 on the entry fee or the gate fee, don't it?
Yes, it does.
So that's worth looking at, especially if you've got a family coming in. So, but here's the thing is I know some people may not be going to go to the fair, but you're at the Iowa State Fair. I mean, there's so many opportunities to have fun. And afterwards that night, it's just, it's a really good time. So hopefully everybody takes advantage of it and has fun. So, but that's the one thing. I think I said both of them, didn't I? I'm getting confused now.
Yeah.
But, okay. Yep.
So I think we kind of talked through it all. We talked about the parking, kind of the registration process, the events. Like we'll go through all the heats in the starting order. Then we'll go through, most likely hit the 3B mains that we have to get through. Take a nice little half-hour water break. Let everybody kind of energize. Get a bite to eat or whatever we need to. And then we'll go right into the A mains.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, also we for those that will be coming to the race as well, and need any type of tire lube products, we do know that Chad Bodorf will be there set up. So if you need fuel or any oil or anything like that, let him know ahead of time. We can get that stuff for you, and he'll also have some stuff on hand as well.
Cool.
So,
and I know
the
last thing I'll say about, I guess the t-shirts and stuff, bringing that up, they're always really cool with our people on there and the style. I see your trophy from last year in the back there, and
yeah,
they're so neat. But it's not just there. We get people that work at the fair. On Friday, I guarantee you, I already got 6 people that want t-shirts. From the fair. So a lot of those shirts and stuff get taken or picked up. So if you want a shirt, make sure you get right over there when you're doing your sign in and stuff and get that, because I think every year we have like less than half a dozen shirts left. So
they'll go quick. So
yeah.
Chastity, Haley, go ahead and reach out to Andy or myself, and we'll kind of help you through the Venmo process, or we'll get you in touch with Tracy as well. I'm not sure if you paid yet or not. If you haven't paid and registered, I know that Andy and Tracy behind the scenes have really been trying to push that.
It's a must.
Yeah, we have to pay before Saturday because we've got to turn basically everything over to the state fair board.
Yeah, there's no sign up that day, period. The only thing that you can buy that day or any kind of exchange for money wise is your t-shirts and stuff like that. That's it.
T-shirts and AMA.
Correct. Everything else is already turned in before the fair. So
yeah,
I'm going to find out what that Venmo is here real quick.
It's at Tracy_Kiner, I believe, off the top of my head.
You'll know more than I do. I have to ask her every time. Any other questions?
Yep, a couple more here. So I just threw in comments Tracy's Venmo.
Okay, cool.
Patrick's asking for a large shirt. Oh,
I'm not very good at that, but Chris will make sure he reserves you one.
Oh, I will try to. Lots of things going on. Couple other questions. Well, we need a transponder. We don't need transponders, so we have to go old school. Those that have raced short course with us previously, it's all hand done. So what you kind of saw with my nifty Excel spreadsheet where we're going through lineups, pretty much that 40 some page worksheet in that Excel is what we actually do. It's all hand done. That's why it takes forever and takes a lot of time that we put into it.
You say forever. That's behind the scenes, but you guys do an unbelievable job of keeping things flowing every time. But I
Yeah.
don't think
So
people knows the pressure that you're on in order to keep that up.
yeah,
You know.
Saturday's a no talk to Chris day because it's zoned, but we'll have an adult beverage afterwards if you'd like.
Hey, but I'm glad that question came up because that is something that we should have talked about.
Yeah.
What happens, Chris, if I come up there and there's 205 racers right now, but I'm that one that says, well, I don't have number panels.
Yeah.
How does that guy get scored when it's a visual to see that? We don't know. The girls won't know your name. Even if they know you, they're not going to write out your name. They don't have time to. So if you do not have a number plate that's visible, and if you're one of these guys that instead of having a normal number plate, and you take and make yourself have a little Folgers coffee can lid, and you decide to write 515 on it, and you expect those girls to see you coming by them at 40 miles an hour to see that, it's not going to happen. And at the end of the day, if you don't have the correct number plates on and the size that they can see, that's not the girl's fault. That's yours. So if you don't get scored, that's going to be on your part. You must have a front and rear number plate. And they're not color coded at this race, correct, Chris?
Nope. So we'll have numbers and number plates as well for purchase. But if you have anything at home that that you want to use, just make sure it's visible. Like you said, coming by 40 miles an hour and you're roughly 25, 30 feet from us easy, that those girls that are manually scoring you need to kind of see your number. I don't care if you put it on your chest protector. A lot of people do that as well. Just make sure it's visible. Because if you're not, if it's not visible when you're out there practicing, we do catch it, and you do get the warning. Don't come out in the heat race unless we can see that race number.
Correct. And I don't believe they'll let them. We've had a couple slide through before, but they shouldn't make it through the lineup either.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So we have to have them on. Yes, you got to have race numbers. What's the other questions here? Who's doing pictures? I saw this question. So we have Amy Cirque.
And I just want to throw this out there too. We have multiple people that will be doing pictures, but with the state fair, we need to make sure that we have what's called an official if they're going to be on the track. With some of our photographers, there's plenty of room behind the wall, and you're still really close to take the pictures. But we do have Atomic Photography. Both of them will be there, and they can actually have access to the track. But per fair, we actually had to. I think Chris has got it here for them, but so we had to make sure that we had a couple photographers that could go on if they needed to, but they have to be a dedicated with name and stuff like that. So we'll have multiple photographers around. And the other thing too, I'd like to do this, Chris. I don't know why we haven't done this before, because you get new people and not everybody's familiar with everybody. If you're taking pictures and you want to be able to share them or get with people, let people know, we need to start our little media thing. Come up to the registration, and I'll have Trace have it there. Come up and sign up and let them know that you're taking pictures and you'd like everybody to look at them or have a chance to purchase them or something. And we'll make sure that's put out there so that everybody knows. So.
Yep. So chest protectors, Andy. So chest protectors aren't required. We highly recommend them. But helmet, gloves, normal riding gear, boots.
Wait a second. You say normal, and every year we get this person. Okay, it's AMA. You got to have long pants, no shorts. You got to have long shirts, no cutoffs. We've had people come out with bare skin underneath their chest protector. So I'm sorry I interrupted you, but you have to have, I don't care what kind of boots it is, it has to be over the ankle. You have to have long pants. I don't care if it's blue jeans, sweatpants, or racing pants. Doesn't make any difference. You can have a long sleeve shirt of any type. You can have a long sleeve shirt. I can't stop you. And, if you have a long sleeve and you push it up, it should be down the whole time. But here's the other thing too, is we're talking 76 or 80 degrees. This sounds, as of right now, a perfect day for racing on Friday and Saturday. So I'm excited about that, but you got to have a helmet. And then obviously we highly recommend the chest protector. We highly recommend the goggles and the gloves. So anything can happen anytime. It's silly not to have a chest protector.
So Josh, Mr. Shoemaker asked, yeah, I'll reach out to Sabrina and I'll reach out to Amy if I can get that information ahead of time. And I can find some time this week before Friday. I'll certainly throw in their contact information on the back of the shirt. That's a good idea, Josh. What's the other? Nathan Strand asked about numbers. I think a number is $2. So there's plenty that we'll have on hand at the race.
That sounds strange. I need 1 or 2. Does he not know which number, or does he not know if he needs 1 number or 2 numbers? There's just something strange about that comment.
Says he needs A1 and A2. I think there's something strange about your reading skills.
I'm just giving strange crap.
Oh, I think that's about it. I don't see any other. Will there be a text station?
Only if we need one, and I don't foresee that there's anything. When I say we need one, people's already going to be like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" So, like, if you have something sharp sticking out, you know what I mean? You have a bumper that's ridiculous, you know what I mean? Something like that that's a safety concern. That's where we'd do that. Your tethers. Yes, we plan on checking every tether. So that would be. But as far as the machine itself, we don't really have rules on the size unless you're in the youth class. That's all by skill level. Every one of our classes, either by age or skill. It's not by the machine. So tethers are about the only thing that would be checked.
Yep.
Actually, let me throw something else out there. I have not got this put out. It's been busy. I need to get it put out, but I will kind of throw this out now so people can start talking. I don't know if Trace got the radar gun ordered yet, but unfortunately, we're going to have to buy a radar gun. We are doing some research right now on stock CDI boxes.
Oh.
Yeah, stock CDI boxes. We run a limited class. We broke that up so it would be fair and let the newer kids have something to do instead of race against the super hard to find dinosaurs of the 2005 Kimcos. We split that up. I think that's one of the best things we can do, but I'm hearing that there's some machines that's over 18 miles an hour, and it's very clear on every sign up, which we're keeping that class. It's got to be 18 mile an hour max on that class. So if you've got a different CDI box on, or you've done something different to change that limited, there's really nothing you can do on those limiteds. That's what's makes that class so good for the kids to have fun. So we will be radaring. I'm not sure if it'll happen at this one. I hope so. I'm not sure if we're checking I think we will be checking doing a quick visual on the CDI boxes. We're working on that right now. If we don't do it this race, we will 100% be doing it our next hare scramble. And I know it's not the kids that's doing that, so please don't let this hurt the kids. So it's 18 mile an hour less on those limited. So any more?
Nope. Just some comments, your friend.
Come on, Andy.
All right, buddy. Like I said, as soon as we hear and get more information, final details on what gate we should enter, most likely it's always been in the past the gate off of East 33rd and University. So that is kind of like the straight gate, the closest to where we need to get into the pit area. But as soon as we get more information, we'll share that, and we can share the old map that we have shared in the past as well.
Yeah, and we can share a pinpoint, for those guys that have the iPhones. Androids, you're obviously just gonna have to put it in. But Chris, with us getting in an hour earlier than the the general public, and I'm just speculating, which I shouldn't be on here, but my fear is that we won't get in that gate. I'm really hoping we will, but you've seen the line that gets backed up there waiting to get in. So I think it'd be hard for them just to tell a racer all the time, to get in there. My fear is that we're going to go up and over the hill there to that next one. It's the one that they tried to bring us in there. I think it was last year.
Yeah, some did.
Yep, and it brings you in down below, and then you just kind of circle. You follow the tram thing all the way. It comes right to us, so it's easy too. But that's just what we need to find out for sure, and we'll make sure we get that related and put that map out there and circle the gate and stuff. And that's only if you're a race rig. If you're just coming in to watch or something like that, you can go through any of the gates, at the right timing. But if you're coming in to like working or helping or racing, that's the gate that you'd want to come in, is the one that we let you know about. So
okay, well, based on that, buddy, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, it's really good to be back, man. I appreciate you and Paul doing what you did on this podcast, and you guys, I got to listen to you and had fun. But once again, thanks to every single person that worked on the track, that volunteered, the track crew, the scoring, the registration, the gate, everybody. Man, from the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank you guys enough. So
yep. So if it comes down to us needing some help on the track, we'll reach out. But I think pretty much internal, it's not a whole lot that we have to do to get the track ready for Saturday. If people don't mind sticking around, we always could use some help tearing down a little bit here and there. We have to, get everything back to where it was beforehand. So what do we normally have? The barriers that we have to take down, and some banners.
Yep.
Just kind of, and mostly just making sure all the trash is picked up in the pits.
I can say that I think I could use 2 people, 2 adults on the track, if possible. If they want to help
flagging on Saturday, right?
Yeah. Yep. If somebody was interested in that, as far as building the track and stuff, it's so easy compared to the hair scrambles. We'll knock that out, pretty quick, and we'll just be watering for the most part. So,
all right. So if you any of the 5 utility guys that are registered currently, we still need a utility, possibly on the Grand Concourse Friday morning through afternoon. So reach out to Andy. Otherwise, you got anything else, buddy, before we let everybody go?
I think that's it, man. Thanks everybody for sticking around. I told my wife it'd only be an hour. I said, if not, it's Chris's fault. So,
oh,
well, now got a lot of info out.
Yeah, well, we'll get back to that hour time frame.
Good.
So, all right, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Thanks,
right,
everybody.
thank you.